Hello peeps, Drugget here. Today we are going to start a new Cities Skylines Let's Play series. I actually also made the map for it, so at the time of this recording it is on the Steam workshop under maps on pretty much the first page. The map's called Joyride because that's what I wanted it to be, pretty much for everybody. A smooth, fun ride, like having lots of fun playing it. Yeah, let's dive right into it. Now I'm just going to leave the name as it is, and you guys sure could suggest different names if you see stuff that's interesting to you, like districts or something. Just put them in the comments. Just don't expect your name coming up in right the next episode, because I'm trying to pre-make videos. But don't worry, I read my comments and I'll take notes. A little shout out to this fella. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, but thank you very much, that really made my day. Also a very warm, hearty welcome back to my subscribers. I've been away for a while. Actually, I don't want to get in too much detail. Some of it is at least personal. I mean, what pretty much happened was life. You know, life has its ups and downs. I just needed some time to care about my well-being and new job. Well, what actually brought me back is the interaction with you guys. I actually kind of missed you. Yay! Yeah, I mean, now we have this COVID pandemic thing and I got a bit more time, so... I mean, I was playing video games all the time and tried recording as well every once in a while, but you actually really have to be in the mood for it, and I just needed some time off. Now, even though you could tackle the map in several different ways, it was catered around a specific idea on how I wanted to approach a map. At the same time, I wanted it to be playable by as many people as possible, so even beginners should not have any issues, which is why I designed it to have a very fast start by providing initial services as electricity, water, and even some garbage collection, which was not intentional. Let's start by placing some infrastructure, and I kind of go for a mix between a normal grid and some super blocky structures. You can't do real super blocks in Cities Skylines because pretty much all the growables require road access and stuff like that, and super blocks kind of behave a bit differently. If you don't know what super blocks are, these are kind of mega blocks with malls and playgrounds and services and pretty much everything within one block, which means they are pretty large, so the roads surrounding those blocks have very, very few intersections. Which is an advantage, of course, but the grid advantage would be it would be really easy to build, so I kind of tried to find a mixture between both of those worlds. But don't worry, we are going to pretty this up, but for now we just want to grow as fast as possible to blast through the first milestones. While we're at it, let's talk about how I want to approach this series. I want certain challenges, so we are going to play with the despawning of vehicles disabled, which pretty much is what the normal game would call hard mode. Now, as mentioned, the map provides us with initial services, so we have to counteract the benefits of those. The map also features a unique building, the observatory, and because I wanted the map to be playable without any mods, I had to place a garbage collection for it, because otherwise the building would constantly complain about garbage and Chirper would go crazy. Garbage collection actually reaching into the start square was pretty unintended, because I didn't assume it would be able to do that, but hey, so it's a feature, right? You get free garbage collection, yay! How about we zoom out and take a look around what we are having to play with here. North of the start square there is a plain stretch of land with the runway lights indicating the exact angle planes are going to come in to land and also leave the city to the southwest. On the southeast we have a big harbor area, because the map was built with also fishing in mind for Sunset Harbor. I pretty much have all the DLCs except Snowfall and Natural Disasters, so That means the only thing I'm missing are trams. Our starting tile will become the commercial office center of the city, then 3 tiles of residentials around, airport, industry, more industry and harbor. So this is the initial plan for those 7 tiles, which means that we have to redo our starting tile entirely at some point. Also because I want to have the industry to have a direct highway of sorts leading into the commercial area to make its deliveries. Now let's quickly set up the infrastructure and do the initial zoning. Also, we are not done talking about the mods I use yet. As you may have noticed, there is no chirper around because Birdcage is set to, make it disappear entirely. I also want to set Traffic Manager to have the rush hour, reckless driving activated by 5%, which is just the way I like the game, actually solving traffic problems and such. I am not so much plopping down buildings and making everything pretty. I mean, I download a few assets, right? But it's more about all the challenge. So, of course, we also use Advanced Vehicle AI 15%, Parking AI, Public Transport, and then we already switch to real-time. So real-time actually alters the way the game progresses through time. So normally in a vanilla game you would have like days counting down like every few seconds, and real-time influences the day-night cycle and also makes it that you play one entire day, like 24 hours. And so you more have like clock down there. It also activates and deactivates buildings according to its settings, because some buildings might be closed at night, for example schools or other service buildings. Also it simulates weekends, so there are longer stretches of time where pretty much nothing gets built. Then you have, to just get through the weekend to continue playing. This sounds like a bad idea at first, but I actually really love it because real-time also generates real rush hours, because everybody's getting up at 6:30 or something, and then they are going to start their day. So pretty much everybody is like hopping into their cars at the exact same time. This really is like a stress test for every network. So you want to find out how about solving traffic problems? Be my guest. One benefit of this mod is though the better aging, because this pretty much makes not everything live the exact same time. So when they moved in, like some amount of days later, all die, creating a huge death wave. So because it just randomizes that, through adding the realism, it also helps you, with such services as death care. Now regarding tiles, I want to stick to the vanilla rules here, so I'm just allowed to buy the tiles when the vanilla game would grant them to me, except of course for the last milestone, because we have the 25 tiles mod installed, so then I'll just unlock all of them at once and then the real fun begins. My intention actually is to play the map until the agent limit prevents any further advancement of the city. Hopefully that is not going to kick in too early, because I really wanted to have like a 300k citizens city somewhere. Not sure if we can achieve this on this map, but I'll at least try. Now regarding what can you expect from the series, will there be campuses? Yes, one of each. Same for parks. Will we use the Industries DLC? Yep, I want to have every single unique factory on the map. Will there be monuments? Yes, 4 of them. And will we be doing fishing? Yes, but I have to admit that I haven't played Sunset Harbor yet. I just bought it to make sure that the map would also be optimized for it. So playing Sunset Harbor will be my first time, but yeah, it looks interesting, so let's have fishing going. By the way, big apology that it took me 10 minutes of video just to get the game started. I mean, yeah, I didn't intend it to be that boring. But I really wanted to get across what the series would be about. So my older subscribers know me for putting out lots of tutorials, so the question arises, hey Drag, will there be any tips for Cities Skylines in your series? Yeah, got one right here. So if you start a new city normally without, being provided with a lot of services, I suggest you use those gravel roads, because they are so cheap in maintenance and they will last you for quite a long time. So I suggest using those because this will save you a lot of money. So why I didn't use them? Well, I'm too lazy to scroll back there. Now, because of our initial services, we don't need to save money in the beginning. But would I have to? I would definitely use the gravel roads because they are so cheap in maintenance. Now, for this first episode, I would just like to blast through the first milestones until we have unlocked 2 tiles. So let's quickly check. So that's going to be Boomtown. We are soon going to unlock Little Hamlet with its features, then Versey Village. There is our first tile, and fire and police stuff. Then comes Tiny Town, like gives us lots of stuff, like passes and canals and... But most importantly, fishing industry areas and the park areas. Then comes Boomtown, which gives us our second tile to buy. And this is about where I'd like to end our first episode because we really did a lot then. And then have to think about moving our residentials over to this new area. Let's talk about our industrial opportunities. We have fertile areas there, forests or oil. Also next to the fertile land, a mix of oil and fertile land. Now, industry generates the goods the commercial zones want to sell, right? So what I want to have is a dedicated highway of sorts connecting those 2 tiles with each other. Yay! We just hit our first milestone, so let's place some elementary schools and healthcare. Like here and there. Another thing I always recommend doing is keeping your budget in check, because at the very beginning of a new game you can save a lot of money lowering those. I don't have to do this for the upper 3 because those are provided by the map. Now, before we further expand this area, let's just put in this road, which later will connect to the industry area. Okay, so here's another very important tip for you guys. If you are having frame rate issues or something like that, or your CPU is not the strongest, always delete trees before building over them. Woohoo! We just unlocked our second milestone. This means we can buy our first tile. Oh my god, this really caught me by surprise. Let's quickly check. Oh yeah, see, there it is. And also we get police and fire. That's good. So let's grab this tile. Then I noticed we have some misalignments in here, so I had to correct this. Now back to the topic on removing trees before building streets over them. The thing is, the trees are still there, which you can check if you remove the street and the trees will plop in back. Now they were there all the time, and even though they don't do anything and they don't need to be rendered, at some point the calculations need to be made that the tree doesn't even show. Let's say you have 500 trees covered by streets, and also assume your game tries to run at 30 frames per second. This means that each second 15,000 trees somehow need to tell the game, hey, don't render me. These calculations, these processes, they are sucking from your frame rates and from your CPU usage. Now my actual goal is to still make the city grow as fast as possible. We just had to put in this road, which then later is going to connect our industries to our commercial center. Then we expanded north of it for more space to, people build stuff. And soon we are going to actually build over the river and build up our industry. But as you see, I had a little trouble them growing to connect the services. So, yeah. Okay, big milestone for me. Finally, we can build over the river and into our industry tile. By the way, Fine Road Tool are really handsome mod. You really want to have that. Then I realized that we could not do the industry yet because it would just, unlock at the next milestone. While at it, I just checked if we had fire and police. So next milestone will be the fishing industry and the industry areas which we require. It'll also bring the parks and the high school. I had to wait a bit until the electricity connects, but now we can just zone away. And then I actually just waited till we reached our next milestone. And there we have it, finally a milestone that really gives us opportunities. So we are going to build a little industry area, but I have to fix some other stuff first. I really didn't manage well with the building placement, so I had to relocate stuff a lot in the beginning. I think I'll show you that all with a little time lapse, and then we see each other afterwards. And there we have it, our final milestone for this episode. So let's just have a look what we got here. We get a fish factory and also the post office. So we need to place those because post is an, service like other stuff as well. I was thinking like we should probably go deeper into the fishing. So we will start with the fish factory and try to place that here with not much success. Now putting it that way, there we go. This thing constantly is complaining about not having fish, but what's really cool about the fishing industry is it only has 2 steps. All other industries have like extractors, processors, and then the final assembly product thing. And the fish industry just has the 2-step, like you have an extractor and you have something that processes and assembles, like finally, and then directly sells, which is awesome. What I also found out is that warehouses can't store fish for the factory, so I had to remove that. Okay, so we reached our final milestone, but I am still recording, as you can see. This is because I have actually recorded this 2 times, and in the first go, which sadly messed up, our farming industry reached level 2, so we could put the bakery, our first unique factory, into the game before I reach the 2600 milestone. Now, I found this to be a better ending than just waiting for the milestone. So I just went ahead and, bought the extra tile we are going to approach in the next episode. And sadly also I noticed that my recording skills kind of seem to have suffered over the time. So expect a more structured episode next time, because I guess I got a bit rusty, kind of. Anyway, so here I just show you what the city looks like in the end, pretty much on the next day, because it's the save game loaded, and so you know where we are going to start the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and we see each other next time. Bye. This is funny, like... Oh my god. Yeah, come on, let's fix this. I mean, as hilarious as it is, it's not nice to look at.